Maria Guadalupe, be with us here now, that we may always tell the truth and know the truth. Amen. I'm sorry that I'm late. Of course, I'm always late. I always schedule these things too early, don't I? We are starting with a question from Ayushi. Ayushi369 posted a question on my poster board. You make sure you like the video if you like. And we're going to get started here. So Ayushi had a question, and the question was, does Tan Mei still miss Ayushi? Was Tan Mei's feelings ever true for Ayushi? We're going to take this as two questions, one at a time. Does Tan Mei does Tan Mei miss Ayushi? Does Tan Mei miss Ayushi? All right. So if you're there, Ayushi, I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling so that you can have some aspect of control in this situation. If you are there, I see that you left a message in the chat before we started, but you're there. Today is the day after Valentine's Day. We'll just put this right over here. All right. 3-card. Yes, no exploration. We'll get started. Does Tan Mei still miss Ayushi? 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 Okay, it looks like a yes. It looks like Tan Mei does still miss you. But what's going on in this is there's a lot of illusion here. This is, though it's been a long time since you've been in this relationship, there is illusion. There is like a tower moment. So it's not, he misses you, but his concerns are with finances, and there is anxiety, fear and anxiety, but there is also a lot of self-deception here, and all of that comes up and hits against the tower, and where you're looking at that in this, it means that in this relationship, everything has come to a stop. There is, at this point in time, your relationship with Ayushi is in a place of complete disruption. You know, like the sky is falling. It's not, it looks as though it's not realistic for, unless some major things change, is not a realistic situation. So does he miss you? Yes, but there's a huge but there. And so you want to ask, were his feelings ever true for you? They probably were, but let us just see was his truly feelings ever true for you? Was his feelings ever true? And so we're going to be, let's just leave these down here and then go, with the cards being 14, 24, 30, 48, 4, 4 plus 8 is 12, right? So it's 12/3, and that's the yes that he misses you for question 1. Okay, let's go to question 2. And was his feelings ever true for Ayushi, or was that like a romance matter? Was this a matter of romance? Was he romantically attracted to you? Was Tanmay Tanmay's feelings ever true for Ayushi? Were they true feelings, or were they false feelings? They mean false feelings, like were they like that of lust, or are they true, like a feeling that may have resulted in an actual relationship? Because it shows that he was a strong provider, that he would have made a good husband. All right, let's just see. Let's just see here. And we're going to begin. Were Tanmay's feelings ever true for Ayushi? Were Tanmay's feelings ever true for Ayushi? Were Tanmay's feelings ever true for Ayushi? Okay. So what this shows, look, the moon card came up again. So this one has come up twice in the same, this first time it came up upright, and the second time it came up downright. And so this is, were his feelings ever true for you? It looks like it was no with a question mark. It was questionably no, that there may have been some feelings, but true feelings, maybe not true enough to make a husband. And so this relationship, Ayushi, was one that had a weak foundation. It was based out of weakness. So it was based in a place of where the power was not in balance. So where there was a question of authority, the foundation of that relationship was weak, it was crumbling, and it was filled with impulse, animal impulse. So it was more lust. So it would be the non-agave. So it had been sort of romantic love in a form of infatuation. So it being that it was built out of infatuation, out of impulse, out of animal impulse, those thoughts were distorted. It built a weak foundation for that relationship that you had. And then over here you have, again, we have like a body card, a earth card, or something of the work to go into it, was the work. And so it was working on it, but these other things were not enough to make it work, because, like you say, you've had no contact with him for a long time. He does miss you, but he may not miss you in a sense that it is true enough to build a lasting marriage relationship with him. And so we're going to look at the energy on this, and we're looking at, like the other one, it had two major arcana cards. This also has two major arcana cards. So it is looking at this is a not a, it is more foundational on for why it did not work. So we're looking at 18, that's 22, 22, and 2 plus 2 is 4. So you're looking at 22 over 4. We're going to look at it this way. And then this other one is 8. So it was essentially what happened is it was the manifestation of a weak foundation, and thus we have the other card reading in there where it had hit the Tower card. Well, it came to a slamming, and the end of that relationship just came to a stop because there was illusion in it, and there was the illusion, and there was that King of Pentacles. Yes, he would have been a good provider. And maybe he will be a good provider for somebody else, but you don't know. Maybe he will come back someday in the future. Maybe you will reunite with him. I don't know. That is up into his ballpark. So if he decides he wants to come back, then he will come back. But whether or not you should be with him is a different story, Ayushi. So you have to consider the fact that there was a rupture in this relationship, and then if he were to come back into it, you need to take that into consideration, that there may be another man out there who will fill that void within you. Okay? All right. I have, she has another question that she posted in the, another question. And the other question is, yes, Brandy Lee, you can get a love reading. I'm doing love readings today. I'll get you next after, because Ayushi has another question that's up here. Healing journey. All right. So for Ayushi's second question, AYUSHI 21526, and then we have, hi Sarah Jane, welcome. And then we have another question. We have for Brandy Lee. Brandy Lee. And you want a love reading? Love reading. We're looking at 2/15/26, the day after Valentine's Day. All right. And Ayushi's was about, this one was about a energy healing or guidance in healing. What should she be doing for healing? What does Ayushi need to keep in mind in order to be more whole? Okay, since Ayushi is not quite here, I'm going to move on to Brandy Lee, and then I'm going to go back to Ayushi. I'm going to do that because Brandy Lee, you are here, and Ayushi, I have read for her multiple times when she was not here. And all right. So let's go and welcome Mr. D.D. Tell, Mr. K. Welcome, Mr. K. I am not quite prepared today. I think 36 hours ago I spilt water over this whole table, and so I had to pull everything off, all my paper, all my decks. Luckily, I had only got some water damage on one of my cards, and I got this one has popped back. This was actually really super limp with the water, and I moved everything off, so that was like an oh no experience. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, because I had a 3 or 4 day long migraine episode this week, so I didn't get to do as many readings as I wanted to. I have to, for my own health and well-being, I need to be I need to be getting to sleep before be I need to be at least laying down before 4 o'clock in the morning, and so the both of the migraines I had actually back to back migraines were triggered because I fell asleep after 5 o'clock in the morning, and so that's just me. And yeah, makes it authentic. All right, let's go do a love reading here. And we have, okay, I got, where are we looking at? Some love cards. I got love cards. Let's do, I have all my decks on the floor now. Um, this is a, Brandy Lee, this is a career, well, this is a career and life deck. It has some love things in it, so we're not going to do that one. Let's just first draw a few cards here, Brandy Lee, and then we'll do some tarot as well, as far as what is coming in your way as far as a love reading. And if you want, we can do this one, Brandy Lee. This is my crosswords oracle. So you can choose which oracle do you want, Brandy Lee. Do you want the crosswords oracle or this celestial insights? Which one? Which one do you think will give you better information? The crossword. Okay. All right. We'll start with the crossword then. Okay. All right. Let us get on to shuffling then. So in this room from now on, I'm putting all my water in a screw-on. Any water I bring in here, putting it on a screw-on container so that I don't take the risk of accidentally knocking it over again. I think I've only done that twice since I put this craft table in place, and yeah, it is smart, but we also but we're as human beings we don't often think about smart things to do. That's the drawback about being people is we're most of the times we go through our lives and on autopilot, and then on autopilot make dumb mistakes, and yeah, it's not like paper and water just don't go together. All right. Let us start by clearing the air, Brandy Lee. I want to start by doing that because uh, my aunt wants to talk to me about my mother, and that is making me nervous, and so I don't want to. I'm having a hard time. Every time, that's my problem. That's my problem. You know, as long as like no one's, like being too. I try to do the best job that I can, but there are ways that I fall short. Ways that I fall short, and just like my YouTube channels, I The analytics and all that does enough of the criticism for me, and I can criticize my own channels, and I can criticize my own job that I do as a caregiver, but or as a channel maker. But when, anyways, you get the picture. You get the picture. So I am going to clear the air for you, Brandy. Mother Mary, Brandy Lee has a question. Mother Mary, Brandy wants to know what love prospects are on the horizon. What love prospects are on the horizon. So, Brandy Lee, I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling. I'm going to just give this 3 times here, and then we'll do the other shuffle. Wait, some of these cards are out of order here. And that one flipped over. These cards are getting tattered up. Well used. Okay. I want you to tell me when to stop shuffling. When to stop shuffling. When do I need to stop shuffling? Oh, already I said that. Okay. All right. So the card on the top is number 29. 29, we're looking at balance and completion. So the number 2 is about balance, or you're looking at like balance of like the yin sort of yin yang kind of a balance, the light and the dark. And 9 is kind of about completion. So when you're thinking in terms of love, will this be a completion, or the end of the journey? This may be the last one. This will be the one that will balance you out. And together, 2 plus 9 equals to 11. And then again, 11 also reduces down to 2. So whatever we have going on here, we're looking at this kind of a thing, that to be on the lookout for someone who is well balanced, or that you are well balanced. And you look at the number 11, and if we think of that as a tarot number, 11 is and a major arcana number is of that of justice, and 2 is that of the high priestess. The high priestess. And in this sort of that kind of energy, in this, that you are being asked that you need to trust your intuition, but also keep in mind that whoever you're with is a fair person, is a person who has where justice is a, and so what, however that word justice means to you. And so being that it is, and I can see it as like fairness, who treats people fairly and treats people with respect, fairness and respect. And so respect for boundaries, respecting boundaries. And then when we have this sort of this high priestess, this divine feminine energy, you're looking at that this is, in a sense, kind of like moon energy. It's in that it's this inner world, this inner interior world. And so a person who is very spiritual, a spiritual person who has an eye and a mind for just behaviors. And so with boundaries and keeping boundaries in mind, the balancing between the light and the darkness. And so if you're looking at that is a person that you might be looking for is somebody who will balance you out. And in that balancing of your shadow self and his shadow self coming together, your light self and his light self coming together, that will make a complete whole, and bring you into a place of completion. Okay? Now some words. And the first word that popped out was Pluto. Pluto is the planet, and that generally means like the underworld. The underworld. So some things about this person that may be coming in is that there is this a Pluto energy to it. But the other thing that came in was bed and dog. So maybe this person is really going to like the bed a lot. Is going to like the bed a lot, but at the same time is kind of loyal like a dog. Loyal like a dog and have good humor. Good humor. So Pluto, bed, dog, humor, and just a little bit odd. Okay, so let's just write those things down, and I'm gonna look up Pluto here to see if we can get just a little bit more insight here. So we have Pluto, bed, dog, humor, and odd. And odd. Maybe there's something like that in your life already. Someone who is a little odd and who a bed salesman perhaps. And let's look at the Pluto. Astrology. What does that mean? So Pluto, in this sense, we're looking at a transformative issue, transformation. And transformation, and so that looks at like the number 13, and the tarot energy of number 13 is that of the death card. So a ending and a beginning, and so we see the number 9 being that of an ending, and an ending, and what comes at the end of 9 is a new beginning. So a completion of one state and the beginning of another state. So this transformative sense, and that this may be this situation, this love interest that may be coming into your life, may be one that will be transformative to not just you, but for everything. And so if we look at Pluto and in that sense of transformation of endings and beginnings, and so the end of your life as you know it becomes the beginning of beginning of a new life, the beginning of a new life. And then we take a look at dog. What does dog mean? Dog of loyalty, unconditional love. unconditional love. You know, dogs take a lot of abuse before they stop loving you, loving you. And so I'm not saying that there's going to be abuse here, but you want to be really careful, and that this love coming in to your life will be something of a loyal person, a person who knows how to love, and that goes in with that sense of the justice of being just, and in that, and a just judge loves without conditions, without conditions, and applies the rules and the boundaries equally to people. And so that person who is a just person, a loyal person, a person who can transform lives. That may be a person who may be that one who will come into your life to, who will complete your life. And then also that you have a good humor, make you laugh. Maybe you'll make him laugh. And then just a little bit odd, a quirky personality. Maybe this person might be slightly autistic. Autistic people are often very loyal, and they have quirky, or they have a sense of justice in things like that. Okay, so let's see what else as far as a love reading, and maybe we have these letters up here. Maybe the letters VIN stand. Maybe his name is going to be Vince. Maybe Vincent, or something like that. Matt, Matt, Vince or Matt. I don't know. I just throwing that out there. That's just more of the association, letter association with these letters right up here. Now, does that help any? Does that help any? Or is that not very helpful? And if we look at what do you have going on as far as a love relationship is concerned, what are the characteristics of this person? And so it does help. Okay, all right. I think that maybe we will do. I'm just going to take one card at random from here, and let's just pull this out. Value indication. So you saw this has a scale on it. Justice. The Justice card has a scale on it. And so you are looking at a value indication that this is thinking that you are worth more than what you think you are. It's not to say that this person is going to put you onto a pedestal or anything like that. And we have this card as hope. Someone who can give you hope in the darkness, who can help you through tough times. So in this sense is don't give up hope. There is somebody out there for you, someone that will help you to bring balance into your life. Justice, balancing the light and the darkness, and give you hope to go through difficult times. Okay? I hope that helped you. Did you have any other questions, Brandy Lee, as far as this is concerned? Okay, it did. Thank you. Okay, no further questions. All right. All right, thank you. All right, we'll go, since no further questions, I'm just going to go back to Ayushi's question. And then there's also a question from Chinese Disco Babe. Chinese Disco Babe. And we have Chinese Disco Babe. I think we'll go over and go to her question next. And I did go onto my Tools of Fortune, and I added another request for questions. So, every couple weeks, because this one got like a whole lot there, I added a different one here. So, questions wanted. And here's some stuff, images. So, look, there's some crossword things. And so you can come and post your questions here, and I'll get to you as soon as possible, because it was just very recently that I did do a video response for 6 questions, just the other day, because last Sunday, I got a lot of questions or that I wasn't able to get to in time, and so I did that video here, video response for viewer questions. And and don't forget to go through and like things. But let's go take a look at the question that Chinese Disco Babe left. I think that it's this one. All right. So, what does M truly think of me? Her true impressions of me. Okay. What are her true impressions of me? I wonder if that's her boss. That might be her boss. Okay. All right, so questions there. Oh, ask the universe for what I need. Well, if you're out there, I have, there is a like button and there is a sub button. I'm sitting at 750 watch hours for over a course of 365 days. And it would be nice if I could somehow get up to 4,000 watch hours in a 365-day period, but that requires more of these and more of those. The more of these two things I get, the better it jacks things up into the algorithm. That's just a YouTube want. I do have I have a PayPal link. I have a Amazon wish list that I am working on cleaning up and so forth. But I do realize times are tough. These are tough times right now. So I'm just throwing that out there. Just remember that you matter. And no further questions. All right, we'll go to Chinese Disco Babe's question. And then this is 2:15. All right. I wonder what deck, then, what deck should I use for this? This is kind of a open-ended question. I think I'm going to use the Career and Life deck on this question for Chinese Disco Babe. I'm going to ask a few questions using that one, and then I think I'm going to use the bibliomancy as well. There might be something in here. All right. All right. And we're just going to be, this is for Chinese Disco Babe, on regrading, what does M think of her? What does M think of Chinese Disco Babe? What does M think of Chinese Disco Babe? What does M think of? Oh, we got to start by clearing the air. I'm just not with it at all. Mother Mary, Chinese Disco Babe has a question. Mother Mary, Chinese Disco Babe wants to know what M thinks of her and what is M's impressions of her. What does M think of Chinese Disco Babe? Okay. So, Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God. Oh, look, a whole bunch of cards popped out. Okay. I don't know if these cards apply to the question or for if I understand who M is. Because I didn't get the sense that M was a romantic thing, but it could be. So there's the three images that popped out is one of tools, one of like a pen of writing, and a third image of money, of coins. So things that are important to M is money. Is money. Another thing that is important to M in this moment is that is the creative is the creativity. So your expression of your creativity, and then also if it is a work related thing, it's about needing to, whatever the situation is making it work. We got to make it work. Okay. I hope that helps. I don't know. I don't know if I interpreted the question right. But let's go in and do the bibliomancy and see if there's any corroborations here, because in how I'm thinking of it, what do they truly think of you? And let me see if we can just get something here. And we are going to get a page number. A page number. First number on there is 4. 4. Well, actually, it's between 4 and 5. So I think it's 5. Look at the number 5. Five, 2, 5, 2, 3. 523. 523. Okay, we'll just put this over here. So let's just take a look at the number first, 523. And we're looking at change, but it's also challenge. Challenge, C-H-A-L. I can't spell it. C-H-A-L, challenge, E-N. Challenge and freedom to balance. And look, expression here, creativity, expression. So expression has come up twice now. So we're looking at 8, 9, 10, and the overall spirit of this number is that of 10, and that is of a new beginning. So it's a beginning and an ending all at the same time. A new beginning. A new beginning. Okay. Let's come over here to 523. So what does she think of you? Endings. The end for which I sent. So what do we have from page 523? And which equals to the number 10. In tarot, the number 10 is the Wheel of Fortune. And that can go either way. It can be a change. The wheel turns. 10 in tarot numerology is the ending, is the complete ending, and it goes from 10 back to 1. In numerology, 10 doesn't exist. It just goes to 9, and then it goes back to 1. But a 0 is that of infinite potential. So it's, think of that, new fortune, good luck. But kind of the words you have on this is the first word that popped out is end. What does she think of you? An end, an ending. But over here, we talked about needing to make it work. The situation has to work. And this is something that you have to do. You have to put the work in to make it work if this is a work problem. What does she think of you? We have a seed that falls on the ground, on good ground, will yield a good crop. So in this psalm, it's about seeds growing into something good. It's seeds growing. So an end, but the end is a harvest. It is a harvest. It's at the end of the line is that if there's a work thing that you are making money for the company, because money matters. Money matters a lot in this. And so the harvest is that of making money. And so everything on this page is all about crops. It's about water paths. It's about paths. It's about endings, harvest time. What happens at the end of a crop is that it gets harvest, and that harvesting is, it turns into usable things, usable things for food for others. so that it completes the cycle. It completes the cycle. And then, so what does, so what maybe what you are is a means to an end. So what does she think of you? Her true feelings for you is that you are a means to an end. A means to an end. If that makes any sense to you, that's just from what I got from here, what I just reasoned out from 523, the numbers 10, and the Wheel of Fortune and Luck, things changing, things change, and these cards. What does she think of you? There's some expression that you're creative and that you're making things work. And then maybe you're making money for her. And so that's all that matters. All that matters is if this is a employee-employer relationship, then this is the crux of the whole thing. You're only useful as far as the money that you can make for the company. Okay. All right. I hope that helped you. Okay, so I will go on to the next question. And so the next question is for Lauren. Lauren. Note to self, make sure that you look at your text messages after you start these reading sessions. Okay, Lauren, so what's coming up next for love? A love reading. Okay. All right, Lauren. We will start by clearing the air. Let's clear the air. Mother Mary, Lauren has a question. Mother Mary, Lauren wants to know if there's anything coming up in her love life. Is there romance on the air? Okay. All right. Let's put this deck away before it gets out of hand. I think I put my love and relationship deck away. We'll just do tarot. It works too. So, Lauren, give me a number between 3 and 5. I want a number between 3 and 5. 4. Okay. All right. 4 it is. Okay. For love. For Lauren. Tell us about Lauren's love. Is there love on the horizon? What is coming in for Lauren as far as love is concerned? Lauren, I want you to tell me when I need to stop shuffling. Just tell me when to stop shuffling. When do I need to stop shuffling? Okay. I have two parts of the deck. Do you want these ones on the top, or do you want these ones on the bottom? So it's over or under. 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 Under. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Four, 29. To the number 6. So with the number 6, that is about love and harmony. So we're looking at love and harmony. So love and harmony. In the number 2, balance. So a balancing between love and harmony. Yin and a yang. But in our tarot questions, our tarot energies that are here, one of the things we have here is that it does show you are ready for something new. You're ready for something new. And over here, we have so we have in your current situation, we're looking at you have just coming out of an ending, like you just came out of a tower moment. Something ended. And from that ending, there's insights and there's knowledge to be gained. And in your love relationship coming up, is that you need to spend some time re-evaluating everything that you think you know. Everything that you think you know. Okay? And then it also is showing that in this love that there's a lot of self-indulgence, so a lot of self-centeredness. So whether that is a person that's coming into your life that is self-centered, or that you are self-centered, it doesn't really tell me that. But if we look at this being a female is self-centered, over here you have a man who is, if we just read the gender on the cards, man and woman that are in the tower. So there's a sense of about balance thing, and some guy who's sitting unengaging, or not really have a care in the world, not a care in the world. And so 4 and 6 together, 10, 1. So there is like something new is on the horizon. Something new is on the horizon. But what may be coming in this on the horizon is one is of depression, of being in a place of apathy, but at the same time is so tired of that apathy, tired of being depressed, that you really just want to move on. You want to kind of into move on away from this situation. But yet you have these other situations that are here, that are in this sense of what is on the horizon, what is on the horizon. And you have new insights to be gained because you are moving out of this place and into a place where you are examining your consciousness, you're examining everything that you thought you knew. But at the same time, there is this sense of self-indulgence. Now, maybe what we're looking at as an outcome card, this was on the bottom of the deck, the star. So Spirit says that you need to have this hope and optimism that love is on the air. You have the number 6, love. But if we take 6 and 17 together, that's 23. 2 plus 3 is 5. So that is looking at a sense of change, that there's change, some kind of a change that about love. 7, 8, manifesting love, but which will result in a change away from this sort of depression, this place where you were at, and there was a love that ended, and over here, but in this moment, there is this sense of self-centeredness and self-indulgence, and this desire for things you cannot afford. Things you cannot afford. I think this is how these cards, I think they should line up. Does this make sense to you at all? I probably didn't give you any information that really helped. Maybe I talked more about you than I did about what love is coming. And so when you have re-examined yourself, and you have re-examined yourself, things that you thought you knew that you don't know, and you are gaining a new paradigm, that's when this hope comes in, a star coming into your life. So because you're ready for something new, you're making progress. So you're not too sure about that. Okay. So what it's saying here is that maybe it's not the right time to start thinking about having love, a new love in your life. To spend some more time thinking about your life. Well, just going to ask the question differently. How about we do a change? We're going to ask the question just a little differently, and um, and just to see if we can ferret out the information differently. A general love reading is, I'm going to ask it this way. Is Lauren going to meet someone? Let's just run it this way. Let's just run it this way and let's just see. Okay? You are going to meet somebody, but it's kind of in the maybe category. It's in the maybe category. There are some things that are going to happen here. So, of this night that's kind of coming in, but there's some. It's like you're moving too fast, and then there's an ending here, an ending, and this grieving of a loss. It seems like it's almost like the same kind of spirit that there was that I drew before with the Tower card. And we're looking at 9 and 3, and sort of a self-expression thing and a completion. So it's something has to come to an end here before you're going to meet somebody. That's what I'm getting. It's not helping you because that's not what you want to hear, is it? But maybe you already have somebody that you are with. Maybe you have somebody that you're already with, but there's this kind of a transformation that's going through an ending, and then but what sits at the ending is more self-pity. So that 4 of Cups, the guy sitting underneath the tree, but ready to move on. And instead that there was an ending, but there is this sunrise on the future, on the horizon. There's something new out there. So you was just curious. Okay. Did you did you come out of a relationship, Lauren? Have you come out? Did you have a breakup recently within the last few years, or a divorce, or something like that? Did you have something like that? Some kind of a relationship issue that ended, and maybe you just haven't moved on from it yet? Not recently. So it's been a while. And that's kind of what it's been a while, and so it's like you're giving it the time. In that 4 of Cups, you're ready to move on. But see, there was that Star card, the hope, hope that somebody will come into your life. And so this is in a sense, are you going to meet somebody? Yes, you're going to meet somebody. but it may not be instantly. It may not be. It may not be as fast as you want it to be. Okay. I hope that helps, but maybe I don't know. I'll just do the last question, and that last question is for Ayushi here. For Ayushi. Okay, you're welcome. So if you meet somebody tomorrow, you can come back in. My name is Bill. Oh, and while we're here, if you're just tuning in, there are these sub and like buttons, and you can push the like on the video, and then if you like the content, you can sub, and then also, if you have questions and I'm not online for a live stream, so please come to the post. I got to get that in tune. Okay, so I got this in, and so if you come to my homepage, Tools of Fortune, and you go over, I post videos like the homepage. Let's go here and um, go over the posts and put your questions for over here, and then I will start with your question maybe the next time. Okay, thank you for your support, Lauren. Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. I got a few pictures and paintings and some pictures and things. But you can post your questions here. I will get back to you as soon as I am able, either in the next live stream or I will create a separate long play video response for you and tag you in the description. Thank you, and I look forward to being your reader. All right. You can post questions here. All right. Let's kind of get back on to Ayushi's last question. Okay. Um, what does Ayushi need? I think I'm gonna use an oracle deck for this one. Yeah. All right. Let's clear the air. Did my candle burn out? I need to replace these. Get another one of these candles here. It's all full of wax. Oh, we need to do it this way here. Mother Mary, Ayushi has a question. Mother Mary, Ayushi wants to know, what does she need in order to be more whole? What does she need to concentrate on in order to be more whole? I haven't used this deck yet. I've had it for a while. This was the first Oracle deck that I ever picked up. I did used to use it for um, selecting my lottery numbers. So, what does Ayushi need? What does she need? What does she need to be more whole? To be a whole person right now? What does she need to work on? What does Ayushi need to work on? Let's give it a good shuffle. I haven't really used it. What does Ayushi need to work on? Okay. Oh. All right. What does Ayushi need to work on? What does she need to work on? To be healed, to be whole. What does Ayushi need to work on to be more whole? Okay, let's just do this. But there was something else that came into my mind while I was shuffling. Something else came into my mind. The Gospel of Thomas came into my mind while I was shuffling, that maybe there's something here. And so I will give you what eye has not seen, and what ear has not heard, and what hand has not touched, and what has not arisen in the heart of Ayushi. Tell us how our end will be. Have you then discovered the beginning, so that you inquire about the end? Where the beginning is, there shall be the end. Blessed is he who stands at the beginning, and he shall know the end, and he shall not taste death. Let's change the pronoun. Blessed is she who shall stand at the beginning, and she shall know the end, and she shall not taste death. Blessed is she who was before she came into being. If you become disciples to me and hear my words, these stones will minister to you. I think that what was here is that I will give what the eye has not seen, and what the ear has not heard, and what hand has not touched. What hand has not touched you? You will be given what hand has not touched you, Ayushi, who has not arisen in your heart. You're looking at the past. You're always looking at the past. You need to look for the future. When it comes to love, Ayushi, There's somebody new out there for you. Stop looking at old loves, yesterday's loves. Stop obsessing over them. A new spirit will be given to you. A new spirit will be given to you, Ayushi. Maybe what that means is that you will gain some maturity in your life, grow up a little bit more, because we are all growing. Something new will rise up in your heart. Something new will rise up in your heart. Something that has not touched you before. Something that you have not heard before. Something that you have not seen before. Okay, let's just see what these oracle cards say. Time to go. This was in its reverse form. Time to go. And we have yin. We have 2 and 45. 4 and 5 is 9. So you're looking at with a 9, you're looking at the 9 being stuck in this spot, not allowing you to go forward. The time to go is time for you to move on, but this card is showing that you do not want to move on. You're kind of stuck in place. And so what do you need to do? You need to take that step and you need to move on. You need to balance your life in dark. Find balance in your life with this. The yin and the yang, and there is a spirit here. What is that face? Is that a masculine face? Do I have a... I know I have a... I can't tell. Well, let's just go look at the book. Where did I put that at? Oh, it's over here. Welcome. Welcome, Van Vane. Welcome. So we're going to go, because this is the first time I've really used this. And let's just take a look. Like and subscribe if you like the content. And what this question is, what do you need to keep in mind to be more whole? And if Mr. K is still here, I changed your relationship to this account. So just go type something in, anything in the chat. And so let's just see, this is for you, Ayushi. So in this sense, the 2 is feminine spirit. It's about it's about concentrating on yourself as a female. So, Mr. K, I made you a moderator. And as for people listening in and whatnot, all the moderators, with the exception of one that I have on this account, are people I've either had on my show or I know in person. There are people that I know in person. And so for people who I choose to be moderators, those are the rules that I have set. So if you were a guest on 999 show, then or I met you that way as a guest. That's how I select my moderators. There is one, and that's how I've been selecting them for the last year or so. This channel is about a year old. My 999 show channel is in its 4th year of video production. So let's go back to this reading here. And what does Ayushi need to look at? She needs to be more whole. She needs to look at herself as a female and keep her feminine self in mind. Being sort of receptive. What does that mean about being receptive? In this sense of letting others make the first move, taking cues, uh, gathering information, taking that information and making something of it, and being very conscious in your decisions. Conscious in your decisions. Prosperity. So it's time to... Okay. Protection. So I'm just looking at this. So this as a female energy, female spirit. Ayushi, you need to really dive down deep into yourself as a woman and be what it means to be a woman. And that's the first thing. So when it comes to love, as I read that something new is coming your way. Something new is coming your way. And this time to go on, to me that suggests that you need to move on from these past guys. These past people who have been in your life. But this suggests to me you're kind of stuck in place and you don't want to move on. But let's just see what it says here for number 45. 42. 44. 45. So essential meanings is endings and completion, time to walk away from something because there's nothing else to learn. So it may be in this sense that it is in the upside down form that there still is something to learn, or that you are stuck. You're stuck and not willing to move on. Okay, so that's essentially what... Yes, I can get you a reading, and then you can be my last person, because I do have some other duties to attend to today. And so what I'm hoping that this helps. This helps, Ayushi. What do you need to be more whole? For one, you need to let go of whatever it is that you're hanging on to. Whatever you're hanging on to, Ayushi, it's time to go. It's time to move on. It's time to go forward. To go forward. Go into... See, there's a gate up here. You're stuck here. You need to move on to that gate. That's, for one thing, what you need to do to be more whole, to heal within yourself. But you're kind of here, you're kind of stuck. Where you're at is you're stuck right now. You're stuck in this spot. And you also need to enter into yourself. Enter into yourself and become what it means to be a woman, to be a female in your culture, perhaps. to go in what are those spirits, what do those things mean, the that you are that you love, that you are in a receptive mode, that you are gathering things into yourself that you can use in order to give to others, to be nurturing, to be passive to a certain degree, but not aggressive. Passive, but not aggressive. I don't know what a archetypical female is, what that means for you in your culture. So whatever that means to you in your culture, this card is telling me that in order for you to be whole in this moment, you need to take a look at what those things are. Look at what those things are and just think about them. But at the same time, it's time to move on. To move on. And then, as I read to you in that Gospel of Thomas clip, that Gospel of Thomas thing, is that something new is going to come into your life, a new spirit, a new person, something that you have never encountered before, something that you have never encountered before, something that you have never encountered before. And that, until that may be a man, a new man, a new job. It may be a person will come into your life as a guide who will touch you in a profoundly deep sort of way. A guide of some kind. Somebody who will help you to understand who it is that you are. And that person could actually be you. It could be your higher self. To spend time in a temple, in the quiet. Spend time contemplating. Spend time with yourself. Getting to know that feminine spirit within you and all that that means. Okay? I hope that that helps. So we have... What kind of reading are you seeking, Van? And so if you're just tuning in, Vanessa? How long have you been broken up with Alexander? I think love and career. Okay. So if you're just new here and you're just looking in, there are these buttons, the like and the sub button. The like button, if you go up to the top of the screen, if you go up to the top of your screen to these three little dots up here, you can find the like button. You can also share this with other people. Here's the description. It has those things, the description. You can go to that, and then also you can go to the post page on my channel, and you can ask your question here. And if there's a lot of people in the chat, you can always go here and then record your question, because I have to do that too sometimes. All right? So let's get on with, and I also have a wish. Oh, yeah, you know what? There's something else that you can also look at too on my channel page. I know that times are tough and so forth, but I have a PayPal link here. I don't have any other job or anything, and so there is a PayPal link. And there is a wish list. And these are some of the things, my tools of fortune wish list. There's a lot of things on there. I have to revise it, but anyways, there's my wish list. There's things like that. And we go back. That's on the channel header page. I also have another channel too. And I do other things on my other channel. Let's go to the home page. I have another channel. And that channel is this one, the 999 show. And it is a talk show. I should, guys, yes, I should show you guys this trailer that the AI, I'll show you that. I can't download it, but I can show you this one that it made for me.
Broadcasting on frequency 999, questioning the silence of the alien gods. Is this reality just a dream we forgot? Searching for a spiritual signal beyond the void. The truth is out there. Tune in. Broadcasting
I'm
on
actually
frequency.
quite proud of that. That's, of course, that's all AI generated and so forth. But I thought I kind of wanted. I better turn the volume down. I wanted to share that with you guys. All right, so let's go on. We have we have this, and we have. So you've had contact for no. So you broke up 2 weeks ago. So let's go first start with that. Broke up 2 weeks ago. Um, okay. Will V get back with her ex? Will they get back together? Okay, let's start with that question. Let's start with that question. So these two questions are both tarot questions. No, they're not. I don't need any other decks to answer her two questions. Making sure that we got the right cards, that we're not. Okay. All right. So this is the last question of the day, and then we have to go take a walk, bring the wood in. I've been on for an hour and 40 minutes. And we will start by taking a sip of water, and then we'll clear the air. Clear the way. All right. So I want everyone to be here with Vanessa right now. Be here with Vanessa right now. Hold space with us. And be here with us right now. Mother Mary, Vanessa has a question. Mother Mary, Vanessa wants to know about the man that recently broke up with her. And she wants to know about an upcoming job. Help us to find the truth about these two things, these two important things in her life. Okay? All right, Vanessa, I want you to be with me here as I shuffle. And as I shuffle, I'm going to mix match the cards. These are both are 3-card yes no explorations. These are the spreads. This is not exactly my own spread, but the spread I got from T and Tarot, a British man who lives in Germany. A British man who lives in Germany. And this was his spread. I think he got it from a book that he read. But if you ever seen the movie The Man Who Knew Too Little, well, this guy wrote the screenplay for that movie, or the novel that the screenplay was based upon. Okay, all right. All right, Vanilla, I am going to give this a shuffle to make sure that everything is all mixed up. 3 riffle shuffles. And this first question is about love. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. Day of love and romance. All right. So, the question being is, will they get back together again? Will Vanessa and her ex-boyfriend get back together? Will Vanessa and her boyfriend get back together? Will Vanessa and her ex-boyfriend get back together? I need you to tell me when to stop shuffling, Vanessa. And tell me, so when do I stop shuffling? Stop now? Or keep shuffling? Okay. There's a possibility that you will get back together. It's not a sure thing. But where things are standing right now is that so we're looking at 4-4. We're looking at, this is a foundational issue. It's the whole some basic things have got to be fixed first. So it seems like it's like this. If I rearrange these cards, for what sits behind this yes? There are some money issues that are here, holding on to either money or talents, and but this, what sits in this yes, you may get back together, is that these basic issues of like money and how money is spent, these are one of the foundational issues that kind of seems like it led to the breakup. a hanging on, but then there was all this sense of needing to guard yourself. So maybe was a lot of chaos in this relationship, and somebody was always on standing on guard. Somebody was always like that guy on the castle who's looking for the next fight, scanning and scanning and scanning for that battle that is coming. And so this sense of this, like, there's always this war that's going to happen. And so somebody was always just thinking that when and so your relationship was probably ruptured because of there was too much chaos and too much fighting that was going on. But then there was this issue of money and a unhealthy relationship to money, an unhealthy relationship to money, and that need to hold on, or to hold on to the money in a way that where maybe the money needed to go for the household to help the household out, but it was not. It didn't go that way. It didn't go there. And then there's this element of a strength. And so this as a female character, that maybe Vanessa, that are you a are you really a charismatic person? Maybe like a very extra. Are you extrovert? Because it shows that there's someone in this relationship that was very extroverted, that needs attention, a lot of attention, like this cat here, always needing attention from others. And so maybe what was going on in this relationship, Vanessa, is that someone was needing attention all the time, but the other person was guarding against that, didn't feel like they could give any. Okay, so didn't feel as though they could give that attention that was necessary. And if we think of these coins like things of the body, so it's not necessarily is it money, but it could be their emotions, hanging on to their emotions in a very unhealthy manner, guarding their heart, guarding their their emotions, because there was this sense, that was this sort of a sense here that they didn't have anything to give. They didn't feel like they had anything to give. And so that relationship ended. But at the same time, this shows that, are you guys going to get together? Well, maybe. And so when you get back together again, you have to address these issues of attention, address these issues of being defensive, and address these issues of either money on to one's talents that they have inside, their emotions, these things of the body. Well, that's typical man. So that's that. So these are things we'll be needing to adjust. This is the things that sits behind this. Maybe you will get back together again. But these are the issues that are standing in the way of you getting in and getting back together anytime soon, because he's in this state of needing to defend himself and just needing that peace away. Okay? That may not be exactly what you were looking for. In a numerical sense, we're looking at 4 and 4, and 4 is foundational issues. So it's a foundational thing, and broken foundation. The foundation of the house is broken. The foundation of the house is broken. So one person's foundation is broken, one is whole, or it's that you both have both a whole and a broken foundation. Okay? All right, let's go on to the next The next question, which was about a job, All right, let's go back to the job and okay, so it's about a job, and so you've been seeking seeking a job at an oil company. These jobs probably take a while to get, so we're gonna see. So I'm asking the question: will V get this job soon? Okay, will V get this job soon? All right. Okay. I'm going to mix the cards up again. We don't need to clear the air because we are still in this place. We are in Vanessa's consciousness. So everybody, please stay with us now and think about Vanessa. And she has been trying to get on at a oil company for a long time. And she wants to know if she will be selected. Have you interviewed for this job? Or is it just that you are seeking an interview or seeking to get a job there? Okay, it doesn't matter. We'll see if we can do that. Okay. So, will Vanessa get a job at this oil company soon? Will Vanessa get a job at this oil company soon? Okay. Oh, you've been interviewed. Okay. All right. Will Vanessa get selected for this job soon? I'm shuffling. You tell me when to stop shuffling. Okay. Well, you know what? This is a strong yes. It looks like you probably will get selected for this job. But, however, they are still weighing the options. They are still working to make the decision. They haven't made the decision yet. It is a difficult choice. They have a lot of applicants that they're moving through, but it looks like eventually you will get this job. And so it's about 11:2, balancing things out. The feminine, they needing a feminine spirit there. And so foundations change or challenging. It'll certainly be a challenging job. It almost feels like if you do get this job, you will feel kind of like it's a huge letdown you get, because you've been fighting for this job for a long time. You've been looking to get a job like this where you can make a lot of money or have a lot of stability in your life. Get that stability, but when you get it, it'll be more like a victory where you won't feel triumphant, a non-triumphant victory. That's kind of what it feels like. That's what it feels like. But there is a sense of power that you will get. Maybe you'll get some leadership and you'll be responsible for a lot of things. And this job will help you to put a solid foundation under your feet. But at the current time, they haven't, they think they want you, but they're still making a decision. And so what do we have here on the bottom? Look, the justice card is on the bottom. Number 11, justice. I was thinking about that. So in the sense that, but the justice card being in the reverse, this, I kind of follows to this here, is that it won't feel, they'll feel like there's some injustice here, an injustice in this situation. Oh, one of my lights burned out. All right. Um, so in that, it's that could mean not some injustice going on with this job, or it's out of balance and out of balancedness. So if you when you get this job, it's kind of has that kind of a spirit going on. Yes, you get this leadership, you'll be able to gain a good foundation under your feet, but it'll have this hollow victory. You will not feel a sense of triumph about this sense of justice. It's not going to be there. You're going to be denied that justice, that feeling of of being accountable. So, or there will be a lot of unfair things that may be going on. And but anyway, so that's kind of what I see here. I hope that helps. I don't know if that helps. All right. And together we are looking at 11:11. So if I were to give you a an angel number to think about, I would give you the angel number 11:11. That's kind of about enlightenment. It's about new things, about having new things, about new things. Maybe you might look on the clock and you see the number 11:11. 11:11. Go look up the number 11:11, and there are like multiple definitions for this number 11:11. It pertains to like to love interests, or like twin flame things, or anything that has a lot of different meanings attached to it. Go look up 11:11 and see what pops up for you in your search. 11:11. Yes. And if I were to go take a look here just for you, we'll just go look it up. 11. Actually, why don't I go into a book? Shall we just go into a book? We'll just go into a book here and see what 11:11 says. So we don't have to always go to the internet to go find things out, right? Because we do have books. And so your angels are using this number to tell you that you will be blessed soon, and your manifestations are about to become reality. Now, more than ever, it is imperative that you remain positive, as you will soon see your thoughts and feelings replicated in the world around you. It is your privilege and responsibility to plant goodness in your life. And you think about responsibility. Well, this here about responsibility. Responsibility. And then I'm going to close this reading out by going back into that Gospel of Thomas again. Going back into that Gospel of Thomas. That is, I am glad that I was able to reunite myself with that book, because that particular book was one of my favorites. And I do have other versions of 4 other versions of Gospel of Thomas's, but we will do a reading from the Gospel of Thomas for all you all. And if you didn't know, Thomas Gospel is not in the Bible, but the Thomas Gospel may be the document that the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, and Luke, were based upon. Certainly 20% of Matthew, Mark, and Luke there is some parallels that the Thomas Gospel does have about roughly 20 to 40% of it that is directly in that. So it was used. It was it's in those other writings, and it may have been the very first gospel written after the Jesus experience was. And we'll just start here, log 48, because that's where the page turned. If two make peace with each other in this one house, they shall say to the mountain, be moved, and it shall move. If two make peace. Well, certainly, Vanessa, you and your boyfriend need to make peace with one another. To say to this mountain, move, and it will be moved, and it shall be moved. Blessed are the solitary and elect, for you shall find the kingdom, because you come from the kingdom. You shall go there again. If they say to you, from where have you originated? Say to them, we have come from the light, where the light has originated through itself. It revealed itself in their image. If two make peace with each other in this one house, they shall say to the mountain, be moved, and it shall move. And that's that sense of that whole, like a law of attraction thing, the manifestation of thought into the real world, and that whole spirit of that number 1111. Well, that whole angel number 1111 is kind of encapsulated in this as well. If two make peace, 11 makes peace with 11 with each other in this one house, they shall say to the mountain, be moved, and it shall move. Okay? All right, so that's all I have for this time. I wanted to thank everybody for coming and asking a question. For Mr. K, for Vanessa, for Sarah, and Sarah is going to be on my channel, on 999 Show channel next Thursday. For Sarah Jane is going to be on my channel next Thursday at I think at 4 o'clock. I scheduled that show for. I haven't scheduled it yet. I'm building the thumbnail. Sarah needs to attach that photo into the email and figure out how to do that. And so, Mr. K, for Sarah, thank you. For Lauren, thank you. For Brandy Lee, thank you. And for Chinese Disco Babe, thank you very much. And there is sub and like. And Vanessa, you'll have to come back if you get that job. I want you to come back and tell me. You can come back and you can go to that post page on the post, and you can just post that you got the job. I want to know if anything here is for real. You'll do just that. And then if anything happens with your ex-boyfriend, yay or nay, you learn something from it, or you get back together, or you don't, because maybe you don't want to get back together with him, because that may be a possibility. you know, and so like and sub if you like the content. And there is those links I showed you on my channel header page. Uh, so I do have if I do have those for donations. If you think it's worth a donation, I'm sure you think it's worth the donation, but I understand these are tough times, and so yeah, thank you guys very much, and we'll see all you all the next time. I'm doing lives every Sunday afternoon. I try to start someplace between 2 and 3 p.m. Pacific time, because I'm on the west coast of the United States of America. And someplace between 2 and 3, it's kind, I scheduled it for 2:22 today. I didn't quite make it in time, but I made it when I made it. So if I don't start on time, don't worry. Unless something major happens, I will be coming on sometime in between 2 and 3, and then I probably will do one or two late night readings this week. And those late night readings will be ones that I will, of course, will have to stop by 3 o'clock in the morning so I can get to sleep by 4. And I look at myself in the mirror, I think, God, I look just like my dad. And my dad's been gone since 2012. And the older I get, the more I look like my father, how our ancestors are in us. And so that's all I got for you guys. I'll be back later for another live as soon as I possibly can. Leave your questions where I told you to leave them, and I will be back with you as soon as I possibly can. And thank you, Mr. K, for being my new moderator on this channel and for reminding me that I need to, tell everybody about these like and these sub buttons and do all that YouTube stuff that I often forget to do. All right, that's it for today. Blessings and peace to you. And I'm going for a walk right now. That's what the Mr. K said. I need to do to look out for my health and go take a walk right now. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.